UFC Vegas 106 is going down this weekend, and this is MEKHI's Money Making Plays. I'm going to give you guys my lock of the week, my most confident picks, my favorite underdogs, and then we're going to wrap the video up with the parlays. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Now, currently on the channel, we are on a 2-card lock streak, and I'm definitely trying to keep the steam rolling. You know, the last time we were in the Apex really didn't go our way. And, you know, I tried something a little different, but I think I'm going to try it again. And I feel as though we're going to have a lot of success with this week's lock of the week. You know, we do have a 2-time lock of the week winner on this card with Malquizio Costa, but I'm not going to, you know, abuse it again 3 times. You know, it could either be good, it could go bad, but I just didn't want to jinx it, or, you know, his tag isn't really worth lock of the week material anyway. I think he's close to like minus 200, and I like either, you know, positive money or close money lines. And I figured, you know, let's try something that we failed with again. I'm not scared of a failure. You know, I'm not scared of losing. And I feel like this play is going to come through. I feel as though we're going to have a lot of success with the picks on this card. I feel like the parlays are even going to hit. I got a lot of confidence in majority of my picks. Well, not just the picks, but my most confident picks. I like, you know, the underdogs that I picked. I got a lot of confidence in this card, and I know it doesn't have like the name value that everybody's been wanting on every single card, but this is a really good Apex card, I got to say. But let's not get any further without giving you guys the lock of the week. We are doing a parlay again, and it's going to come through. So here's this week's lock of the week.
Nursultan Black Ruzaboyan
And
Adolfo Trator Bellato.
Nursultan Ruzaboyev and Rodolfo Bellato inside the distance. I feel like, how could I go wrong with this? Plus 115, super easy money. I feel like both of their matchups are not necessarily layups, because, you know, Dustin Stoltzfus is, you know, sort of a tough customer, but I don't think he has what it takes to hang with Ruzaboyev on the feet. You know, when you look at the matchup that was similar to this style with Abus Magomedov, he got knocked out in the very first round, head kick, and then got finished. Then you look at Paul Craig, you know, he's coming off a really bad run at 185. He's got a win over Andre Muniz, but we just saw Andre Muniz get absolutely wrecked by Ikram Aliskerov. Paul Craig's moving back up to 205, and Rodolfo Bellato is not a light 205er. I don't feel like he's gonna, you know, be able to play the game that he did with Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel is not the striker that Rodolfo Bellato is. He's not the presence that Rodolfo Bellato is. Both of these guys are better strikers in these matchups. Both of their opponents have been knocked out before. We saw Paul Craig folded before a few times. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's gonna be able to pull guard and find a triangle off of his back again. I know he did it to Ankalaev. I know he broke Jamal Hill's arm. I don't think Bellato's playing that game with him. I think he's going to walk him down and finish him probably inside of 2 rounds. Both of these guys got super explosive power. Ruzaboyev, he's got really good takedown defense too. He does need to, you know, clean it up a little bit, but I don't see Dustin Stoltzfus being able to take him down. He's too long, he's too big, he's too strong. I know Joaquin Buckley was able to take him down, but that was at 170, and he was cutting a really, you know, a lot of weight for that weight class. You look at him now at 185, and he's just been a killer. I predicted the knockout over Eric McConaughey with the straight right. What did he do? He did it. The knockout over Bruno Ferreira was disgusting, and I feel like he's gonna go 3 for 3 up at 185. I think he's gonna knock out Dustin Stoltzfus, maybe in the first round. The lines on this card were, you know, absolutely disgusting. I wasn't going to lock up Michael Morales. And if somebody is, hey, man, good luck to you. I mean, Michael Morales is going to win. I'm super confident in that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm not picking him as a lock of the week. I only give out plus money or close money lines. You know what I'm saying? Plus 115, Ruzaboyev, Bellato, inside the distance. I got a lot of confidence in this one. I feel like they're both going to get the knockout. I don't think it's going to be submission. I think it's going to be knockout. If you look at, fight odds, let's look at the Bellato fight, right? The Bellato Paul Craig fight. Over 1.5 is plus money. Fight to end in round 1 is plus 110. Come on, man. Let's look at the Stoltz Foods fight. Over 1.5 minus 110. End in round 1 plus 135. I mean, they're kind of telling you what's about to happen, But why chance it with a first round when, maybe they survive the first round and then the second round they get the knockout. So we're just going to take inside the distance. I don't think we're getting to the judges' scorecards with either of these fights. I don't think you guys think that either. But I wanted to risk it again. Let's do another parlay lock of the week. 2 times the charm, right? I think we're going to cash with this one. I think we're going to come through. And I think this is going to be an explosive finish for both of them. So that is the lock of the week. Ruziboyev, Rodolfo Bellato, inside the distance. Lock it in now, plus money, while you could get it. Let's move on to the most confident picks. First up, Michael Morales, minus 820. I know the tag is disgusting. A lot of people have been, who has he beaten in the UFC to give him this, price tag, Gilbert Burns. He was just in there with Jack Della Maddalena. Michael Morales is going to finish Gilbert Burns in 3 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds. He's going to pick him apart from the outside. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage. Gilbert Burns is not going to be able to tie him up. He's got really good takedown defense. His striking is amazing. Like I said in the prediction video, I think his boxing is up there with Jack Della Maddalena. And we will be able to see the showcase in this fight. I think he's going to pick Gilbert Burns apart. Gilbert Burns, I got to respect him. He's tough. He's only lost to, champions or top contenders. He lost to Hamza. He lost to Bilal. He lost to Sean Brady. I think Michael Morales could definitely, replicate the success that they had. I think he's going to finish him. 3 to 4 rounds. If he finishes him in the first round, I wouldn't even be surprised. Michael Morales is powerful. He can, he can play either game. He can finish the fight early. He can pick you apart from the outside. The Jake Matthews performance was excellent. I know he didn't finish Jake Matthews, but just look how he was picking him apart in a lot of those exchanges. Gilbert Burns is not going to be able to close the gap with those heavy hooks that he likes to throw. So, Michael Morales, most confident. Absolutely. Next up, we got Mateus Camilo. Reason why he's one of my most confident picks is because I do not trust Gabe Green dropping who knows how much weight to get to 155. He was a big welterweight. So how much weight is he losing to get to lightweight? You know what I'm saying? That chin has been touched a few times. Most recently, Brian Battle put him out in like 20 seconds. He did take, some time off, but I'm not confident that his chin is, automatically recovered 100%. I think Mateus Camilo can win this fight, all 3 ways. He could finish by submission, he could win decision, or he could knock him out. But I do think Mateus Camilo walks away as the victor, and he will beat Gabriel Green. I'm super confident in that one as well. Next up, I know he didn't lock him, or we didn't lock him this time, but Melquidio Costa, I feel like he has the striking advantage over Julian Erosa. I feel like his jiu-jitsu is better. He's got the physicality for Julian Erosa. I know he's coming off of that knockout over Darren Elkins, but Darren Elkins was 40, bro, and he looked absolutely slow. Melquidio Costa is not going to look like that against Julian Erosa. I think Melquidio Costa is live for a finish as well. I don't know if he gets it done on the feet or if he gets a submission. It would be crazy if he, Juicy J with the guillotine, but I do think he can get a finish in this fight. Melquidio Costa, 2-time lock of the week winner for us. We picked him against C-Rod. We picked the submission over Andre Fili. I predicted it 100%. I said Andre Fili was going to shoot for a takedown. Melquidio Costa was going to jump on his neck. And what did he do? Exactly what I said. So come on, man. I know what I'm talking about. Lock in with me. I do think he gets a finish in this fight. I wouldn't smash on it, but I do think he walks away with his hand in the air for sure. Let's go on to the favorite underdogs. First up, we go on Tayanara Lisboa. I did consider her as lock of the week, Only reason why I didn't is because it's very early in the fight card. I hate, losing super early in a fight card. Then I gotta have like a stink on my face for the rest of the night. And I am streaming, or what is it, doing a fight companion for this fight card this weekend. I'm gonna try that out for the very first time. I'll make sure I post about it, give you guys the link, all the details. But get back to the program at hand. Tainara Lisboa, I think she's gonna walk down Luana Santos. I don't think Luana Santos can hang with her on her feet. Her Muay Thai style, I think she's gonna be too powerful. Might even clip Santos a few times. But yeah, I don't think Santos is going to be able to get to her hips. If she does, I do like her get up ability. I don't think Santos is going to be able to control her a lot. And like I said in the predictions, Santos, she said her influence into MMA was Ronda Rousey. I was never a big Ronda Rousey fan. I respect her for what she did and for being, the very first women's champion. But I never thought Ronda Rousey was going to be like an Amanda Nunes, a Holly Holm, Zhang Wei Li, Valentina Shevchenko. She does not. If you look at her and compare her to the women of today, I think majority of the roster would walk Ronda Rousey down. Let me know in the comments what you think. I don't think she's that good. But yeah, Tainara Lisboa, I think she wins on the scorecards. Wouldn't be surprised if you see Luana Santos hurt a few times. Excuse me. The community has a really bad habit of picking the prettier fighter. Luana Santos, she's a pretty girl, but she's not gonna win this fight. And if she does, hey, whatever. Next up, we going with Elise Reed. Now, this is kind of like I'm sticking my neck out there on this one, but I do think she will be able to pick and poke at Denise Gomes for a majority of the fight. I think she could stay on the outside, use that taekwondo, use some side kicks, keep her at bay. It's just how long can she do it? I know she did it with was it Casey O'Neill in her last fight? I think it was Casey O'Neill in her last fight. She did it successfully, for 3 hard rounds. But Denise Gomes hits a lot harder than a lot of the women that she's fought. I would say Denise Gomes could tie her up. Maybe she gets her very first career submission, but I don't know. I feel like the odds, there's a lot of wide lines on this fight card, and I feel like this is one of them that would, or has the potential to, not necessarily a fraud check, but like, the huge underdog pulls off the upset in this one. I feel like Elise Reed is, bound to do that. I could see her nabbing a 2-1, 29-28 decision. First 2 rounds, she's staying at bay. The 3rd round, she gets a little tired. Denise Gomes ties her up, lands some decent ground and pound, tries to get the finish, but she's unable to. I think she's capable of doing it. Her speed is really deceptive. I think, she doesn't have like a reach advantage, but those side kicks definitely can influence the distance in the fight. So I like her as an underdog. I'm not, this is smash on it, like I said, but I do think she will find some success in this fight. I think it's going to be maybe a split decision. If it goes split decision and, Elise Reed doesn't win, then depending on how the fight plays out, I told you, like, my read was kind of spot on. Maybe, maybe she gets chinned. Who knows? But we'll see Saturday. But I do like Elise Reed in this fight. I am picking her before weigh-in. Once we do the weigh-in video, then I'll lock all my picks in for sure. But I do like Elise Reed as of now. And to round it all off, Thiago Moises. I am really confident in Thiago Moises to win this fight. I do think he has a lot more tools in the toolbox than Jared Gordon does. I feel like he can win this fight, wherever they take it. Jared Gordon is like a heavy boxing, wrestling style. But if you look at, his recent fights, the best he can do is like a split decision, and he's losing them. So I guess, like, if you're picking Jared Gordon, you're hoping that he gets a split decision victory. You know what I'm saying? Split decision loss over Patty. Split decision loss over Haqparast. He got the knockout over Mark Madsen, but look at Mark Madsen, and then look at Patty Pimblett, and then look at, Nasrat. Thiago Moises is up there with the Patty, not Patty. Let me pull that back. But he's up there with the Haqparast of the world. Haqparast just beat Esteban Ribovics, who's a really good prospect. I don't think Jared Gordon's beating Esteban. I don't think he's beating Well, he didn't beat, Haqparast. I think Thiago Moises, I know we've seen him, knocked out before, but I think, like I said, I think he has a lot more tools in the toolbox for Jared Gordon. I think he could submit him maybe. I think he will win majority of the pocket exchanges. I think he's going to be able to defend a lot of takedowns. And I can see him winning this fight. It's going to be a really, really entertaining fight, though. I can tell you that much. Like I said in the prediction, this has potential to be fight of the night. So, but yeah, that's it for the favorite underdogs. Let's go to MEKHI's money making plays. And to start it off, we're going to over 2.5 in the Reed Denise Gomes fight, and the over 2.5 versus Hernandez versus Park, plus 116. Some solid value right there, and I think both of those are bound to happen. Park, I do know he's a finisher, but I think Hernandez could be a tougher customer. Well, he's definitely the toughest customer that he's had to fight yet, and Hernandez has been in there with the likes of Taisuda Taira, and I can't think of another opponent of him, but he's got some UFC competition to his name, so I wouldn't be surprised if this fight goes long. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we're going Marquisio Costa and Mateus Camilo moneyline. Think both of those guys are super confident picks in my opinion, and get you about plus 125. So a solid value there. Then this is where we got to play, Michael Morales, because the tag on him is absolutely disgusting. We're doing Morales inside the distance, Marquisio Costa money line, and then the lock of the week, Ruzaboyev money line. They get you plus 212. Then we got Marquisio Costa inside the distance, over 2.5 in the Pennington versus Pinheiro fight. And then we're doing Michael Morales inside the distance again, plus 331. Then we're going Mateus Camilo inside the distance and Yadier Devale by knockout. We jumping odds in that one, plus 706. I can see, Camilo chinning Gabe Green, like I said before. So why not play it? You know what I'm saying? Then we're going Moises, Myron Santos, and Tainara Lisboa moneyline plus 771. Viva la Brazil. Brazil get it done. I think they have the potential to do it as well. Myron Santos is definitely going to be the nail biter, I feel. Well, yeah, Myron Santos, I think he's going to be the nail biter out of that parlay. But I do think he gets it done on scorecard. He did say, he's going to be fighting like he's got a belt on the line. So if you're fighting like that, then, how can I not support you? Definitely he's trying to, improve his image in the community with that split robbery, over Francis Marshall. Because I picked him to win, and I was not confident that he did. But yeah. And then the last stuff that, this is the big bang right here. We're doing Elise Reed by decision, Myron Santos by decision, and then Park inside the distance. Park is a finisher, like I said. Maybe he does get it done. And then Santos, I do believe, I don't think he's going to knock out Sadiq Yusuf. I think he would have to catch him in like a crazy exchange. Maybe he ups the output, but, he didn't really show the pocket exchanges in that Francis Marshall fight. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but I do think that fight goes to the decision. And Elise Reed, like I said, maybe she can nab a 29-28. You know what I'm saying? Split decision win. Plus 62-38. That's crazy. That's crazy. I got to give you a crazy one every now and then. So that's what I got for MEKHI's money making plays. Like I said before, I will be live streaming this event, giving you guys like a color commentary type of thing, doing the blow by blow. I'm gonna try it out, see how I enjoy it, see if you guys enjoy it. Probably gonna do it on TikTok, maybe YouTube, or maybe even both. I think I could figure out how to work that. But yeah, we got a lot of fight announcements too. Let's get into that a little bit. We got Charles Oliveira taking on Ilia Topuria. Two of my favorite fighters. I got a Charles shirt in my closet right now, and then I got an Ilia shirt on the way. I'm trying to collect shirts of some of my favorite fighters. I got a Malcolm Wellmaker shirt. Shout out Malcolm. Hooked me up with one of that. I got the tag right here actually. Show you guys I ain't playing. Voila the machine. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, damn, that's a tough fight. I think Ilya gets it done. I think he's gonna knock out Charles. I think he's gonna hit him with a crazy four-piece combo in the pocket. You know, Charles likes to use that Muay Thai clinch. I think I could see Ilya, ripping to the body and just coming over the top. Charles does leave his head exposed when he's doing that a lot too. I could just see him hurting Charles. We've seen Charles hurt a few times in these fights, so I'm gonna be upset. It's gonna be like what's the word? I'm gonna be upset and happy at the same time, man. That's a tough fight. If Charles gets it done, damn, steam on Ilya drops completely. Can he do it? Yeah, I think Charles can do anything. I think he was gonna beat Islam in the rematch, but I guess we'll never know. And then we got Kai Kara France taking on Alexandre Pantoja. I got Pantoja in that one. I think he's just gonna melt Kai Kara France. I know Kai Kara France has a puncher's chance. He knocked out Steve Erceg when Erceg and Pantoja went 5 hard, but I think Pantoja is gonna drown him. I think he's gonna grapple him up, land some good ground and pound. He can exchange with him on the feet. We've seen Pantoja how tough he is. He was eating some bombs. He's been eating some bombs in these fights, bro. I think he's going to win, though. Pretty convincingly, too. Then we got DDP versus Hamzat. I think that's more of a 50-50 fight than everybody thinks it is. Hamzat, he's struggling with Kamaru late. He struggled with Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns cracked him, dropped him. I know he ran through Kevin Holland, he ran through GM3, he ran through Robert Whitaker, which was very impressive, but so did DDP. DDP finished Rob maybe a little more impressively, because Rob said he already had that jaw issue, and as soon as Hamzat touched him, he tapped. It was over for him. I think DDP is going to have to dictate where that fight goes, and he's going to have to accept the takedowns, because they will come, and I'm pretty sure he will get them down. It's just a matter of, does he give up his back? If he gives up his back, it could be over for DDP, and we'll get Hamzat as the champion. But if he doesn't, that fight gets really interesting. DDP, he's really like a dorky striker to me, but he gets it done, bro. He definitely gets it done. If he could end up on top of Hamzat, I could just see him raining down some big blows. We never seen Hamzat on his back. You know what I'm saying? When he was in excuse me, when Gilbert had him in full guard, he didn't want that position. He wanted to get to his back. So it makes you wonder if DDP could have him there, or if DDP could get him down. The fight gets really interesting. He could get tired out. We've seen Hamzat gas. It's a really 50-50 fight right now. Early analysis, I'm going to lean Hamzat, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at like a 6. And then to wrap it up, we got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev. I think Islam gets a late finish. JDM could definitely touch him up early, though. I think he's definitely going to, piece Islam up. He's going to look a little worse than he did in that Dustin Poirier fight. I know he had staff, but JDM's definitely a better striker than Dustin. Dustin doesn't have a lot of kicks in his repertoire. He does have a low kick, but that's about it. JDM can mix it up everywhere. That's a really interesting fight, too. Is Islam bigger than JDM? I don't know. I think they're pretty similar. But a stronger grappler, a stronger Islam is dangerous, bro. His grappling and Bilal's grappling are two different worlds. Bilal doesn't have the control that Islam does. I think Islam finds a late Darce choke. His special. I think he could definitely find one. Bilal had JDM, down and was getting some big elbows caught on him. He was able to get up. I think he'll be able to do that early on, but late in the fight, I think I got to lean on the championship experience of Islam. He's been in, the deep waters. We just saw JDM in the deep waters for the first 1.5 type times. He was in deep water with Gilbert and found that lucky knee, but I don't know. That's going to be a really interesting fight. I think that's going to be in like September, the earliest. But yeah, UFC's getting good. UFC is getting really good. And a lot of people have been, saying that these fights aren't living up to it. I know there's a few cards every now and then where it's like, okay, whatever. But like the Iowa card was pretty good. The Kansas City card was fire. This Atlanta card coming up is pretty fire. This card is pretty good. I don't know, man. I like what they're putting out. I like the product. I'm not upset, and I'm not a new fan either. I've been watching since, man, I think the first time I watched UFC was like 2009, 2008. I've been seeing like the events on like Spike TV. So whenever that was, 2007 maybe, I saw the Frank Mir's, I saw the Randy Couture's, Rampage Jackson. I've been around for a while. I'm just, now investing the time where I want to predict the fights. But yeah, let me not ramble on too much longer. But like I said, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is MEKHI's Money Making Plays. Once again, I got content dropping all week. We're going to do the weigh-in recap as soon as the fighters step off the scale and as soon as I get off of work. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.